Check 1, 2.
Go! Curious about real estate?
Yes!
Then you've come to the right place. Get the knowledge you need. Get over the fear and get started. This is the Michael Quarles Real Estate Show with your host, Michael Quarles.
Hello, everybody. Michael Quarles with Podcast 67. It's been a great day. Before I start this podcast, I am so proud of my coaching students. Every one of my coaching students that I've spoke to today, with the exception of one, and today was his first call, so I've got to give him credit for that. But every one of my coaching students that I spoke to today has deals in escrow or in closing. Not just deals. It feels so friggin' awesome to help these guys who wanted to become real estate investors and to get to chat with them and get to look at their deals and figure out how they're going to do their deals. Man, we turned on one of my coaching students today. We turned a deal that he was thinking about getting rid of into a keeper, just strategizing how to make it make money. And it was a slim, narrow deal, but man, we made some money out of it. It's friggin' fun. Just had to say that. I'm just so happy about my guys and my gals. And, guys, realize you can be short, you can be tall, you can be skinny, you can be fat, you can be, girls or boy, you can be American, you can be an immigrant, you can have a horrible accent, you can speak perfectly. It doesn't matter. The real estate investment business, everybody can do as long as they have the intention to succeed and the willingness to do the hard work, because it's not easy. But if you have the willingness to do the hard work, man, this is a life for you. And I got a guy, and I just got off the phone with him. I got a guy who is literally, he burnt his boat. This is he's only going forward, and he's going forward fast. And I'm just so proud of these guys. It just gives me so much comfort to know what they're doing. Anyway, I'm sorry about that, but here's today's podcast 67. It's 5 questions from investors like yourself who sent in questions, questions. We're going to try to answer them. Here we go. Question number 1. A seller has himself and his wife on the deed. They are now divorced and no longer keep in touch. I told him to figure that out and get a hold of her. This sounds like a nightmare waiting to happen. Yeah, maybe is, maybe isn't. I mean, if you have a court order that says that he gets the property, don't know why he wouldn't have gotten his wife off the deed, but yeah, find her, get her to sign the deed with insurance on it. Takes a little work, but here's the thing. Mitigate the costs of you doing all this legwork. Now, if you have multiple opportunities and there's other people out there that you can buy houses from a lot easier, kick this one to the curb. But if you don't have multiple opportunities and you're getting this one where you're making bucket loads of money, spend some time. There's services out there like accurate.net, I think or .com, where you can put someone's name in and they'll help you find the person. I've got a former coaching student out of Philly. Man, just give him a call. I mean, that's what he does. He finds people. So don't think that it's a lost opportunity, but sometimes it should be a lost opportunity. And that's when you have so much other opportunity that you don't have the time to make this one good. And the last little comment on this one, keep in mind this one too. No one else can buy that house. So this seller is going to have the same problem with everybody, okay? So solve this problem. You're going to get it at a reduced sales price. You're going to find the person. Now, if wife was just sitting around the corner, he found her, it wouldn't be as beneficial to him. But man, if you find her, he can't find her, great stuff. Don't put them together, okay? And don't pass judgment on either one of them. So if you get 2 divorced people and one's talking crap about the other one and, vice versa, you do not have an opinion. You don't agree, you don't have an opinion, because that could come back and haunt you, okay? Because they at some point they liked each other, and you certainly do not want to take sides in a situation like that. Question number 2. Seller was left the house from his deceased father. The deed is still in his father's name, but mentioned he has a quitclaim deed. The catch is the quitclaim deed was written up 5 years ago Would this sound like another nightmare waiting to happen? Must be from the same investor. Not really. I mean, do you have a death cert? Has that been recorded? Do you have any paperwork that shows who it's going to go to? Has it gone through probate? 5 years ago? The problem with quitclaim deeds is if they're not insured, some title companies hate it because there's a non-insured period of time. Find the title company that'll be okay with it, and buy the property. I mean, if it was notarized prior to death, and or if you have a death certificate and that's been recorded, and you have anything that states that person gets the property, you're going to be fine. Or go through probate. But if you have a quitclaim deed 5 years ago, call around, find a title company that'll honor the quitclaim deed that's not insured. Before question number 3, what we do is not easy. That's why we make a lot of money. Okay? So, yeah, we're not always going to get the butter and we're holding the hot knife. It's not always going to be that easy. Okay? Sometimes we actually have to work for this stuff. But when we have to work for it, that's when we make more money. And I'll go back to my comment on question number 1. If you have enough in the pipeline that you don't have to work on it, or you have enough in the pipeline that you can afford to work on it, and that works both ways, then fall forward or kick it. Either way. Question number 3. I had a seller objection occur that caught me off guard. I was going through the seller presentation, yellow notepad section, and they questioned my profit. They kept trying to add the $4,000 cost to sell now with the profit. How should I have countered this objection? Well, the cost for selling now is so completely different than your profit. They seem similar, but they're different. And here's the thing. How much is it worth to you to have your house sold now? Not just sold, but sold to somebody who can afford to buy it. There's a cost associated with that. If you're in line at the concert, or if you want to buy better concert tickets, those tickets cost more money. If you want to get up in front of the line, it's going to cost you some money. How much is that worth to you to sit closer to the stage kind of concept? I guess it depends on the performance. But if they need to sell a house, they should be willing to compensate you to buy it now. Okay? How much money you make has nothing to do with that factor. Okay? That would be like them saying, well, I should get to sit next to the stage to see Garth Brooks because he's making $4 million every time he's on appearance. No. What Garth Brooks makes and how much you have to pay to get closer to Garth doesn't have anything to do with each other. So I would keep it just as simple as that in your mind and explain it. Come up with a story tell so you can tell a story and explain it that way and fall forward. But here's the thing. We should always be practicing storytelling. Okay, so storytelling is when you can tell a story and have it relate back to what you're negotiating. Always practice your quick wit. There's ways to do that. What you never want to do, and here's what you don't want to do. Seller asks you a question and you go, I don't know. No. You should have practiced. And stand firm. Can you say no? I can say no. Let me say it again. No. So if a seller asks me, that $4,000 should be part of your profit. No. You want me to buy your house? You want to sell your house today? My understanding is the reason I'm here is to buy your house. There are costs associated to me buying your house that both of us incur. Would you like to have your house sold? Not only sold, but sold to somebody who can afford to buy it? Yes. I think the number that's appropriate to have your house sold today is $4,000. Shake your head up and down. Get them to say yes. It has nothing to do with the profit that I make. In fact, if you have an issue with profit, here's what I want you to do. I want you to ask that seller how much they make per month. You make $5,500 a month. That's all I want you to say then. And then ask them, how long do you think it takes a house like this in today's marketplace to sell? Do you think 30 days, 60 days, 120 days? Because I know when I look at the MLS, on average, houses are on the market before they have an offer to purchase for 68 days. And then you have to add on the escrow period of another 30 or 45 days. So we're looking at 120 days. That's 4 months. So why is it okay for you, seller, to make $5,500 a month times 4? And during the period of that, I'm going to have to buy your house, rehab your house, do what I think it needs to be done to it, and resell it. You don't think I should be making exactly what you make. This is what I do for a profession. And in fact, I don't even think I should be making that much money. I'm going to agree with you. I think you should be making more money than I am, but I want us to be reasonable with each other. And what I know, a reasonable number is $10,000 profit by buying your house, doing what I think needs to be done, taking the risk that you don't want to take. Because I may lose money too. I'm hoping I'm going to make money, but I may lose money too. And I'm going to take the risk, the stress. Man, I'm going to remove all of the stress from you, and I'm going to assume it. I'm going to start working on this property, making it into a property another family like yourself will hold dear and call home. And I know that's worth some money. And you kind of just have to explain it like that, but just be stubborn. I'm stubborn. I'm sorry. Call me Michael Stubborn. People do it all the time.
Thanks for listening to Buy, Sell, Fix, Flip. We'll be right back. Are you running out of leads? It's time you tried Yellow Letters at yellowletters.com. Get motivated seller leads through Yellow Letters, postcards, zip letters, typed professional letters, greeting cards, door hangers, and business cards. Yellow Letters is a full-service marketing company created with your success in mind. Get the personal attention you need to get your direct mail campaign started and get in touch at yellowletters.com.
And we are back in 3, 2, 1.
Question number 4. On average, this repair costs me X. Seller. No, it won't cost that much. Heck, I could have a friend of mine do it themselves for this much. Objection handler. See, that's why we have to have third-party conversations. So here's how this goes. Seller. Yes. It's weird how I just had a conversation with Harry over at Harry's Plumbing just last week about replacing water heaters. And it's ironic, but I asked Harry how much it's going to cost to replace a 40-gallon water heater. I told him, I said, here's the situation. It's not ripped from the wall. It's just rusted out, has to be replaced. So the pipes are going to be pretty good. All you have to do is come out, remove it, and install a new one and restrap it. And Harry told me that it was going to cost $1,250. Seller can't say then, no, it doesn't, because I'm not the one that said it cost $1,250. Harry did. And in fact, if he would like to call Harry, Harry's going to tell him the same thing, because the story's true, because I'm calling contractors and I'm asking him what plumbers, what things cost, electricians, what things cost, tile guys, what tile things cost. All these kind of contractors, I'm calling them on a regular basis to find out what stuff costs. So when I need to fall back to that number, it's true and I can use them as third person. That's the important part here. So, but maybe I don't have third person. Maybe I didn't do my job. Maybe I didn't call my contractors. Maybe I'm just, getting started in the business, don't know how to do that yet. And someone says they can have someone else do it. Really? So what you're saying to me is you can have a friend of yours come over and do it for less, but you were unwilling to have your friend come over and do it before while you own. I'm unsure of what's going on here. Why wouldn't you have had your friend come over before so you could live and have that done and have a better home? I'm just wondering. And most of the time I have found that we really don't want our friends to help us, because that's when we start losing friends. It seems to me that it would be more appropriate and, quite frankly, probably better for relationships if we go ahead and assume this value. I know it to be true because I'm being a real estate professional. I deal with these kinds of things a lot, and I know it to be true. And I would hate to lose a relationship, quite frankly. I'm just wondering, does that sound reasonable to you? And they're going to say yes. Okay. What if they say no? Who cares? Okay. At the end of the day, go buy somebody else's house. So you know what? It doesn't appear as though we're going to come to an agreement. And before I leave, here's what I have to promise you. If we agreed on a price tonight, that's a win-win situation for both of us. That means it's fair to you, it's fair to me, we both agree, and we close it on the day of your choice. I'm going to take your money and I'm going to set it aside, and I'm going to give it to you on the day you ask. But here's the bad part. If we don't agree to a price tonight, I'm going to go and use your money and buy somebody else's house. So tomorrow or the next day when you call me back and you say, hey, Mike, I'm ready to say, yeah, let's go ahead with the number you had, I may not have the money then. I would hate to have bought somebody else's house with your money when you may be just almost right there. If you're almost right there, let me step out. I got to make a phone call out at my truck or my car or my Bentley, whatever it is. Let me go make my phone calls. I'm going to call my office. I'll give you about 10, 15 minutes. Why don't you think about it? I'm going to come back in. I'm going to bring the agreement back with me. And man, if we can fall forward, let's do this before I spend your money. Okay, takeaway close. Question number 5. Should a DBA be filed for each major city around me that I will be marketing to, or would filing it in my county suffice? DBAs are always filed in the county. Business licenses are filed in the city. So it's the county is a DBA, doing business as, and business license in the city. Now, if you file what you would file in your county and not as a DBA, but as an entity like an LLC or a sub-S or S Corp, then you would file that at state level, and you wouldn't necessarily have to file that locally, okay? And but anyway, check with your county clerk's office and ask them those questions. But I'm sure that they'll tell you exactly that same thing. Guys, it's fun. This stuff is so much fun. I appreciate it. I get a kick out of. I'm gonna stop saying it, but I hope not. I get a kick out of helping. I really got a kick today with my coaching students that just they're all doing stuff, making money. They see a new future for themselves. And I don't know if there's a better reward for me than hearing that statement, that they see a new future for themselves. That is just friggin' outstanding. So, until next time, guys. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the Michael Quarles Real Estate Show. Get more info and stay in touch at michaelquarles.com.